Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We begin tonight with a board charged with overseeing the Detroit Police Department under the microscope and under investigation. 2 staffers on leave as police now look into multiple allegations. It's good to have you with us, everybody. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. If you're not familiar with the board or its function, a quick crash course as we get underway here. The 11-member board has supervisory authority over the Detroit Police Department, made up of only civilians, 7 members elected, 4 appointed by the mayor. Victor Williams now following today's board meeting and help break down some of these allegations for us, Victor.
Yes, Devin and Kimberly, that board meeting just wrapped up not that long ago, and 2 staff members are now on administrative leave. Their jobs are hanging in the balance pending the outcome of this investigation.
This is difficult, all right? This is one of the hardest things I had to do.
Chairperson of the Police Board of Commissioners, Brian Ferguson, speaking on the investigation into a payroll scheme now launched by the Auditor General, Inspector General, and DPD's Internal Affairs Unit.
Any appropriate discipline will be brought before the full board for determination after the conclusion of the investigations.
The allegations consist of some on the Oversight Board paying fake employees and then trying to cover it up by destroying documents that show the evidence. And Thursday, Board of Police Commissioners, 1 man reacted to the news.
There's a fear that the corruption is so pervasive that things and documents and people could be manipulated.
According to Chairman Ferguson, all of this was sparked by what's being called several inconsistencies uncovered by some of the commissioners and staff members who wanted their colleagues held accountable.
The Board of Police Commissioners and staff are committed to be fully cooperative with these investigations.
The 2 staff members that have been placed on administrative leave will have their access to personnel records and operational systems taken away.
I ran on honesty, transparency, and integrity. I will not sacrifice any of that for no one.
And once the investigation is complete, we'll keep you updated on all the results. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Sure will. All right, Victor. Now, an American reporter for the Wall Street Journal has been arrested in Moscow and accused of spying.
And as NBC's Alice Barr reports, the White House says the State Department is in contact with the Russian government about the detainment of Evan Gershkovich.
Good evening. Despite the fact that Gershkovich is accredited to work as a journalist in Russia, the country's top security agency is now accusing him of collecting state secrets for the U.S. Accusations the White House calls ridiculous. The Biden administration is responding today after Russian authorities detained American journalist Evan Gershkovich on espionage charges.
These espionage charges are ridiculous. The targeting of American citizens by Russian government is unacceptable. We condemn the detention of Mr. Gershkovich.
The Wall Street Journal reporter is being held in Russia after his arrest in the Ural Mountain city of Yekaterinburg. The Russian Federal Security Service accusing him of, quote, collecting information constituting a state secret about the activities of one of the enterprises of the Russian military-industrial complex. The Wall Street Journal vehemently denies the allegations, seeking the immediate release of its trusted and dedicated reporter. NBC News reporter Matt Bodner covers Moscow and knows Gershkovich well.
He's a brave guy. He was very clear-eyed about what it means to go in and out, to go back into Russia, what operating on the ground entails and what the risks are.
Gershkovich is the first American journalist arrested on spying charges in Russia since the Cold War, and it comes while U.S. relations with Moscow are at their lowest point since that time, largely due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The journalist's arrest follows Russia's detainment of WNBA star Brittany Griner on marijuana charges. She was released late last year through a prisoner exchange, while American Paul Whelan remains jailed since 2018 for espionage charges he fiercely denies. His lengthy detainment, evidence that spying charges in Russia are hard to fight. Gershkovich is set to be held until at least the end of May. The White House says the State Department is in direct contact with the Russian government about his detention and urged any other U.S. citizens in Russia to leave. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Hey, Alice, thank you. And ahead on the news at 6, how today's arrest is helping put the spotlight spotlight back on Novi native Paul Whelan, who's been imprisoned in Russia for 4 years. What happened in Washington today in hopes of getting him home safely.
The Vatican says Pope Francis is, as they put it, progressively improving after being hospitalized for a lung infection. Pope took to Twitter this morning to express his gratitude for the many well wishes he's received. The 86-year-old Pope was taken to the hospital on Thursday after having difficulty breathing. It's expected he'll be in the hospital for at least the next few days.
9 U.S. service members are dead after their Black Hawk helicopters went down during an overnight training mission. The crews were part of the 101st Airborne Division out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Tonight, NBC's Jay Gray is at the base learning more about what went wrong.
Good evening. A team of Army flight investigators along with area law enforcement on the ground at the crash site about 30 miles from here trying to figure out exactly what caused the deadly crash. Military teams looking for evidence and answers after 9 U.S. service members were killed as 2 Black Hawk helicopters went down overnight in rural western Kentucky.
2 helicopters just disappeared out of the sky, and there was a large flash. And we ran outside, and we started seeing another helicopter that circled that area where I thought the impact was for probably 30 minutes. And then we saw ambulances and siren.
The HH-60 medevac choppers were part of what's being described as a planned training flight for members of the 101st Airborne Division out of Fort Campbell, about 30 miles from the crash site.
This was a training progression, and specifically they were flying a multi-ship formation, 2 ships under night vision goggles at night.
The Army has deployed an aircraft safety team from Fort Rucker, Alabama, to take the lead in the crash investigation.
We're hopeful that when we get the team from Fort Rucker here and they're able to pull some of the data out of the onboard computers, that we'll have a better understanding of exactly what happened.
Military sources say both choppers were equipped with black box-style data recorders. Now, the incident here comes just weeks after another deadly Black Hawk crash. 2 members of the Tennessee National Guard died when their chopper went down during a training mission in Alabama. At Fort Campbell, Jay Gray, Local 4.
Okay, Jay, and as of tonight, the service members' names have not yet been released. Officials said they are in the process of notifying their families.
Now to an update to Karen Drew's investigation into broken fire hydrants all across the city of Detroit. When she first broke the story, she uncovered 1,300 broken hydrants. Tonight, though, some progress to report, and Karen is in the newsroom with what she found out today. Karen.
Hey, Devin, I was touching base with some of my sources this afternoon. I've got some great news to share, and this is something Detroit residents have really been begging for, as well as firefighters. The city is making progress in fixing that broken hydrant issue. So take a look at this. It's a screen grab I got from a source today of the more than 29,000 hydrants in the city. There are 153 listed as inoperable. That's the number right there on the bottom of the screen. Now, remember, it was back in January, I uncovered 1,300 broken hydrants, and I had the firefighters contacting me telling me this is a big issue. Remember, the city responded saying firefighters can check if a hydrant is working or not by using a city-issued iPad. Well, that got some residents really mad, saying, hey, why doesn't the city just fix the issue? Well, the city hired extra crews. I've been following the progress. January, like we said, 1,300 broken fire hydrants. February 15th, they were down to 724. Then February 28th, there was 477 inoperable hydrants. Then today, just checked, March 30th, there are 153. I was talking and texting with some of my sources, and they say, you know, they're thankful that these hydrants are back up and running. Remember, a fire doubles in size approximately 35 to 45 seconds. So really, time matters huge, Devin.
And Karen, we've got a part of the city that needs more repairs than others, right?
It's that southwest part of the city. We reported on it before back in the day, 6 weeks ago or so. There was like 43 inoperable ones. Just checked a few minutes ago. It's down to 31. So they've made repairs, but not at the pace that we need to. So I'll stay on top of it. But it is some good news to share.
It is. All right, Karen, we'll see you at 5:30.
All right, we had a chilly start, but it turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous Thursday all across Metro Detroit as we take a live look from our downtown sky cam. Now we've got another round of rain on the way, and it sounds like the timing isn't going to be great here.
Right in time for the weekend? Is that kind of how this works out? Brandon's in for Kim tonight. Brandon?
Couple of commutes that will be greatly impacted as well. So we're watching the next round of wet weather. It is not coming our way today or tonight. Yeah, middle 40s. We're a good 5-6 degrees below where we should. But that sun, boy, it makes a lot of difference. Good for the spirit, good for the soul. And we're, 3 to 10 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday. See a little wintry mix off to our west, but it is still, 250 miles away, and there are reinforcements to that we are watching closely. 45 now, you're dry, good to go for anything you have going on this evening as you head out. For tomorrow, though, we have high weather impacts with storms coming. Saturday, some gusty winds that will be problematic as well. So we'll look at all of it coming up right after the break. But we've got your Forewarn weather app with everything you need to know about this incoming spring storm and more as we head through and closer to the Tigers' home opener.
Brandon, one of the biggest barriers to becoming a homeowner.
That's right. What the city of Detroit is launching today to help people make those big down payments. Grant.
Metro Detroit chefs making a mark for their city and their community. Coming up, we'll tell you about the 4 finalists for the James Beard Award, one of the highest honors in American cooking.
But first, a train carrying hazardous materials derails and catches fire. We'll take you there next.
It was a cancer diagnosis that took them completely by surprise.
I was totally shocked. I had no idea that this had been going on inside.
Our world changed completely in one evening.
I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. It's a cancer you probably don't know much about, but this local couple wants to change that. What you need to know about kidney cancer and how to help fight it.